Hey everybody, welcome to another Perfect Concert Playlist. This episode we are doing Starship, Heart, and Fleetwood Mac. I'm your host, Michael. I forgot my own damn name. And Ron's on the other side.
It's Raul.
Raul. Ronaldo. I had a weird hiccup there. I was literally talking and went, that's never happened before.
My name is Raul. Okay, I'll take it.
No. When I went to say my name, Michael, I went,
Oh, gotcha.
All right, so I believe you went first last time, correct?
Sure.
Well, whatever. We never remember this. We just make it up as we go
I
along.
never remember.
If you have never listened to this show before, the concept is unlimited time, unlimited money, deaths don't matter, breakups don't matter. If we could hire these bands to do a perfect concert playlist for us, like the ones that we make, what would they play? And we have up to 30 songs. We can cheat a little bit with medleys, if that comes down to it. I've never done that, but I know you've done it once or twice. So, minimum of 20 songs, maximum of 30. So, my opener. Look, I was actually surprised I was able to completely fill this out. I didn't realize they sang some of these songs, or I just forgot about them. Starship is weird because, of course, they start off as Jefferson Airplane, then Jefferson Starship, and then Starship. I have no idea legally what that means when it comes to rights and who's and what and, what they get paid for.
And then, don't forget, and then again, Jefferson Airplane.
They went back to Jefferson Airplane?
They did one come back together. I don't know if it was a tour or if just an album or something, but in 1989 they did another Jefferson Airplane.
Oh, okay. 1989? You mean while they're still running hot with Starship? That's weird.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know much about the band. So, did they change the name because of the time or because people left or what? Do you know?
I looked a little bit into it. Some of it had to do with legal reasons, whatever. That's why they went to Jefferson Starship instead of Jefferson Airplane. The guitarist, I think, had some issues with it. Anyway, there's a whole lot of players in this band that really makes it hard for me to follow. Like, Paul Kantner, that was his name. He was the guitarist, and he had an issue with the name, I think, and I don't know if there was a lawsuit, but they ended up having to they had to change it.
Okay.
Or maybe it was Jefferson Starship to Starship, because I do remember, actually, that might have been it.
That's what I remember, yeah. It was Jefferson Starship when I was really young, and then Starship in the mid-'80s.
Yeah, that was it. They changed it to Starship, my bad.
So I start off with Starship because that was my core band, and I'm going to go backwards. And the reason being is because it flows better, I think, into the second band, Heart. Because Starship had more synth in it, and they were more poppy, like faster beats and stuff like that, upbeat kind of stuff, which is different than the early iterations, which was more like dark and complex and socially aware kind of a feel to the band. It was out of Vietnam, so I start off with We Built This City. And I've always had a parody of this in my head because I lived in a town called Lincoln City on the coast, and I said, I hate this city. It has no soul. That was the song I would sing to myself. I love the fact that I think it was the Muppets, the newer Muppets, the one from like 2011 or something like that, where they had a fun Muppets musical number with this song.
Was it Rocky Road? That's how I sang it.
What?
We built the city on Rocky Road.
Nice. I didn't think of that. See, the next one is Sarah, which I did not realize they sang. Beat Patrol, which isn't that well known. It's on one of their last Starship albums. Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, and It's Not Over Till It's Over. Then they're going to go backwards in time. I love Jane, which is, you don't know the song really based on the name, but you know the riff. The second you hear it, you're going to know it. If you're a fan of Wet Hot American Summer, you're going to know this.
I don't know how long it took me to realize that the name of this, what they were saying was a girl's name and not something else. I don't know what I thought they were saying, but I didn't know it was a name.
Yeah. White Rabbit, another one where I had no idea that was the title of the song. And then end with their first big hit, Somebody to Love.
Yep.
All right, so what is your list for Starship? Or whatever you want to call them.
Okay, for an opener, I was going to open with them as well. However, they've got 12 songs. White Rap, okay, I never do mine in any particular order. I go through the discography, for those of you who don't know, and I just go through there. Occasionally, I'll move something around if I feel like it makes a good opening song or maybe a good segue song or something like that. So, my 12 songs, unfortunately. White Rabbit, Somebody to Love, of course. Now, there's a song on here called Get Fiddler that's off of the Red Octopus. This is Jefferson Starship at this point.
Okay.
In 75. It's called Get Fiddler. It's a fun instrumental, so it's just a segment, instrumental that I think would make a good segue into Jefferson Starship from Jefferson Airplane. My dad always called his guitar a Get Fiddle. I always thought it was funny, but I'm wondering if this is where he got it from.
Maybe, yeah.
And I've been doing it ever since I heard him say it, so I didn't realize there was a song named that. Moving on, I got a lot of Jefferson Starship on here. Miracles, Count on Me, Jane, of course. Rock music's a lot of fun. Find Your Way Back, Laying It on the Line. At first, when I heard this, I was thinking of a different tune.
Yeah, I swear we've talked about a song called Lay It on the Line not that long ago.
Lay it on the line. That song.
Is that Night Ranger?
It's not that one.
Okay.
That's a different group.
Okay.
But it's still a good song. It's just not that song. And then that ends up Jefferson Starship. We move into Starship territory. We Built the City. And I have to be honest, I like a lot of their music. I love the song back then, still do. I love We Built the City. I just wish the rest of their 80s stuff was as good.
Well, it's that one album, Knee Deep in the Hoopla, which I had as a kid, is the big one for them.
If I had to pick one out of the three that they released, or at least the three I see, maybe if there's another one, I don't know, that I saw on Spotify, it would be that one, Knee Deep in the Hoopla.
Yeah.
Of course, that includes Sarah as well. And then their album, No Protection in 87, has Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. That's a little bit soft rock sounding, but I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah, well, I think it might be because I saw Mannequin a million times growing up, but that's such a cheerful, big, happy song, but I always remember it from the end of that movie.
It very much sounds like a movie song.
Yeah.
Compared to it wouldn't be one that I would normally expect them to sing, or any band to sing in a concert, something that feels like a movie song. Anyway. And that's the end of my list there for...
Okay. So second, I have Heart. So I'm opening up with Who Will You Run To? My list for Heart got kind of screwy, so it's not exactly how I would do it if I was actually organizing a playlist. Alone is next. Even It Up. Wild Child. Will You Soon Be There? No, wait, hold on. I can't read my own writing. Will You Be There? Straight On. Then wrapping it up with Barracuda. Nothing at All. These Dreams. Well, okay, I guess I'm not wrapping up. I'm still going. Magic Man and Crazy on You is the last track.
No.
I ripped through that one. Sorry, I never remember the. Do you write down the titles? Because I never do, and I feel like of the album, and I never do.
I do, just so. What I'd like to do at some point is release these lists, like put them together, and I don't know, maybe we'll have a way that we can host it somewhere.
That's true. Yeah, we can do a perfect concert playlist on Spotify for each episode.
Yeah, I've got the Spotify thing. I'm hoping to do something like that, and I guess the cat's out of the bag now. We have to. But,
well, yeah, I wish I had just saved the list. We'll have to go through the episodes and remember, or write it down.
So I usually, so that I have an access to it real quickly, I'll put the link to the song in my document so that I can click on it later down the road and go straight to Spotify.
Oh, okay.
And find it. All right, so Heart is also my second act. Crazy on You, no specific order, of course. Crazy on You. I look at these, I'm like 75. This is 1975. We were just being born. It feels a little bit ahead of their time as far as the sound.
Oh, yeah. I was actually surprised when I looked it up. I was like, I expected like 79, 80.
Right. So it definitely has a better, more mature sound than you would expect.
They are rocking harder than almost anybody that was out at that time.
Exactly. Let's see, Crazy on You, Heartless, Without You. Now, this is a cover of it's a Badfinger cover,
Okay.
I think. Yeah, that's it, Badfinger. However, there's a little bit of a guilty pleasure. Don't think anything bad of me. And I won't say this often. I think Air Supply's cover's right up there as well as theirs. They rock this cover. They got that raspy rocking vocal to it, and I think it sounds really good in their vocals. Badfingers, I listened to theirs because I didn't realize it wasn't Air Supply's song, and it's all like cut and succinct, like what should be a drawn out note. What I'm used to is just not there, and it sounds weird. Maybe it didn't in when they released it, but. Anyway, I'm rambling. Moving on. Barracuda, Love Alive, Straight On is an absolute favorite of mine. How Can I Refuse? Allies, If Looks Could Kill. Now, there's quite a few on this album. This is Heart from 1985 that I could add, but I wanted to get to some of the later albums too. The Night from Brigade. It's a slow, hard-hitting head bobber.
Okay.
And Stranded is my last song there.
How many tracks are you at right now?
What?
How many tracks are you at right now?
Too many. Move on.
Oh, you cheated again! Ah! I had to sacrifice 5 or 6 tracks from my list because I play by the rules.
I know, I don't play by the rules.
All right. We'll just say yours is a medley then, or something, or lie.
There we go. Here we go. Let's see. We'll say the last 3 tracks are encore.
Okay, but those still count as tracks. All right, where am I at? Right. Okay, so Fleetwood Mac. So I have Rhiannon is the opener, which now I'm kind of regretting. I feel like I should have gone with a little bit more hard rocking. Gypsy. Then Lindsey Buckingham solo, a couple solo ones. Holiday Road, come on, man. It's from Vacation. We all love this song, which I thought Kenny Loggins sang for years. Trouble. I think people forget that was like his big single right after he left Fleetwood Mac, but thankfully for the archives of Saturday Night Live, where he was a musical host or musical guest.
Gotcha.
And then Stevie's going to do a couple of her own. Edge of 17. Oh, I guess that is it. I thought I had another one in here. No, so I never mind. I have one later. Then I go back to Fleetwood for You Make Love and Fun, Go Your Own Way, Dreams, The Chain, and Don't Stop. And then for an encore, everybody joins Stevie on stage for Stand Back.
Okay.
I really do burn through these episodes fast, don't I? Sorry.
You're good, man. You're good.
All right.
Okay, so I've got a lot of probably the staple Fleetwood songs.
You're a deep dive on the catalog more than I am.
Well, I like to give them a fair shot. I'll go all the way back to the beginning, see if there's anything I like. Like when we went back with Fleetwood, all the way back to the beginning, I'll be honest, I didn't go all the way back to the beginning because it's just not my style.
Yeah, well, it's like Alice Cooper when we did that episode. Like the first 2 albums are kind of like, meh.
Yeah, and honestly, to the right people, it was probably fantastic. It was very much a 60s style of music, like hippie-ish, and
yeah, that's not my jam.
some of it I can get on board, some of it I can get on board with, others it's just really out there, so.
Like, you're never going to get a Grateful Dead episode out of me because it's just not going to happen. I'm not really into that style of music.
It's like, they would have to be the opener because I'd only get 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah, trucking, driving that train high on cocaine. What is that? Casey, better watch your speed. And Touch of Grey. We're done.
The problem is they would be just as long as a full, artist because they would drag on forever.
That would be true, yeah. We're going to do a half hour of trucking. I was like, wait, what?
Everybody gets 3 solos. No limit.
There's
no
an
cap.
episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000 where they start the episode pretending they're a Grateful Dead jam band. And you know how there's segments throughout the whole episode, to break up the movie? Well, that goes for the entire episode, if I remember correctly. Just one long jam session while the mad scientists are bored out of their minds.
Yes. I miss MST.
Oh, new season. They're working on the new season.
Awesome. All right, my list starts with The Chain. And now this is one I'm particularly on purpose in front, because you get that, that little bass drum starting out, and then you got just the vocals harmonizing in the background. I think that's a great way to bring the lights up and just, yes. Landslide is honestly my favorite song by Fleetwood Mac ever.
Yeah, that was on my list. I had to just throw away songs, so it sucks. But I'll take that one too.
I love it because it's an easy one to play on the guitar, and just it's a nice campfire jam. I got to change key. I really can't sing in Stevie's key very well, but Say You Love Me.
Yeah, that was
all time favorite.
Yeah, all these were on my list. I just you're gonna be my music surrogate.
Yeah. That's gonna be pretty much it. As we move up into the years, I'm probably gonna hit a lot of all the basic songs, but they're good. There's a reason for that. So, Go Your Own Way, Gold Dust Woman.
Oh my God! How did I forget that? I mean, I prefer the Hole cover. The band Hole from what was it? I think what's the Crow soundtracks, whatever. I really love their version, but obviously Stevie's version is great too.
Yeah. When we get the right person with the right rockin' vocals, covers aren't so bad in my opinion.
Yeah, well, especially since it's very biting satire, and you feel like the voice should be angrier.
Right. Well, I mean, we were just talking about Badfingers Without You. I mean, it's just their version, the way they sang it, and they wrote the song, didn't fit it.
Yeah, it happens.
All right. What?
It happens. I mean, look, Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You just tears the walls down compared to the kind of the sweet, sad version that Dolly did.
Right. And I'm sure Dolly was like all over that. So.
Yeah.
All right, Rhiannon. I already said that.
No, I said it.
Rhiannon, Go Your Own Way, Gold Dust Woman. Yeah, there we go. I felt like I missed it. Everywhere. Little Lies is a fun one. Edge of 17. We're in Stevie Nicks. That's unfortunately the only Stevie Nicks solo. I know she's done a lot of really good music.
Yeah, there's one with Kenny Loggins that I decided not to do because I think I'll do that with the Kenny Loggins episode that we do in the future.
Perfect. And then I ended this one on, this is another cover. At least I thought it was a cover. Yeah, it's Black Magic Woman. This is actually written by Peter Green of Fleetwood Mac, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. I had no idea that this was not Santana's song.
Really? I didn't know until just now.
He, shortly after Peter wrote it and released it, Santana covered it.
Okay.
So, way back in the day. It was very short.
That does happen occasionally where there's two covers so close together. Because you remember Roy Orbison, what is it? I Would Drive All Night.
Yep.
His version was done, but he died. So they hadn't done post-production. They hadn't put an album together at all. And then Cyndi Lauper was given cover rights. And then she had that big hit in 1989. And then Roy Orbison, they finally released the album in fall of 90, I think, or spring of 91, and then he had another hit with it. And then, 5 years later, Celine Dion did it. So it's so weird, in such a short period of time. It's like the old days. Remember when they do, standards, like Frank Sinatra, Dean, and Sammy, or somebody else would do the same song?
Okay. So she, what's it called? Vegas'd it up?
Oh, yeah, I don't like Celine's version. I think, Roy's version is great, but I really think that Cyndi Lauper just really owns that song.
Yeah, she's one I didn't even think about, man.
Well, we're trying to hold off from, I think we're going to do that probably in the mid-'80s, that new wave era. Yeah, right now we're still kind of in the 70s rock.
Yeah, I noticed that. I thought we were out of it when we started saying Starship, and I didn't realize. Oh yeah, they go back.
Yeah, all these guys started in the mid '70s. So yeah.
We can't get our feet out of the '60s, man. All right, well, that's all I have for them. And the Black Magic Woman, in my opinion, would be like their encore. They come back in and just kind of throw that in there.
Yeah, I got to hear their version. I didn't know that they did it. All right, so I'm guessing that's
similar to Santana's. You're just missing the really awesome. No offense to the guitarist. I think Peter Green was the guitarist. No offense, but Santana's rendition of it is by far my favorite.
Oh yeah, it's legendary. So, I cannot remember what's next on our list, and sometimes we reconfigure that, so I don't want to say anything because usually we end up altering it a bit. So no promises here, folks, but we're still not out of the 70s. I think we got a few more. I guess that's it. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, just give these a listen.
I really had fun. I had fun rediscovering all these. I was listening to Fleetwood Mac over the summer, and I was like, I can't wait for this. But I didn't go and revisit Heart. I didn't realize Heart had so many hit songs.
Right. I loved it.
Yeah, it's funny how time kind of erases that for you.
Ones I knew, but there are a lot more out there that were really good.
Yeah. All right, everybody, that is it. You know where to find us? Huh?
I'm sorry, I was going to throw in there one thing I didn't get to. They actually released a more recent album, too, that I didn't really get a chance to really listen to, but I just stuck with what I knew.
Okay.
All right.
Are you done interrupting?
I am never done, man. I'm never done.
All right.
Keep on your toes.
What is that joke? The moo, interrupted cow, moo.
Moo. This is what they say. How do you say goodbye as a Hoosier? You start in his house, then you walk him out to the car, you say goodbye there, and then you walk him to the end of the driveway, then you say goodbye there, and then you call him on the phone as they're driving by.
Ridiculous. All right, everybody. See you later. Or you know what I mean.
Thank you, guys.